I am so excited for this video, you have no idea. I wanted to do a 24-hour readathon. So many of you have commented and been like, are you gonna do a 24-hour readathon? You should do a 24-hour readathon. I really like 24-hour readathons. And I've decided to do it. However, there's a little bit of a catch. I love sleep. I don't wanna screw up my sleep schedule. I just don't want to. I love my mental health way too much to do that. I'm gonna set a timer for 24 hours. Oh, it's not. I'm gonna set a timer for 24 hours and I'm gonna let the timer go down. And then once it gets to 0, that will be the end. I'm hoping to do 12 hours today, 12 hours tomorrow, and then that'll be the video. Also, there's another twist. I have here 7 wrapped presents of books. And I have here 7 little pieces of paper with a number 1 through 7 on it. So I'm gonna pick a number and then I'm gonna read that book and then we're gonna do that. And I thought that would be more fun. I'm gonna be honest, I already forgot the books that I have wrapped. I do know one's Check and Mate. I'm getting way too many. Okay, here we go. First number is number 3. This looks kind of small. Is this Check and Mate? Shut up. If it is, okay, I really wanted to read this one. I'm so happy that this is the first choose. Okay, cool. We're gonna read this and then we're gonna read another one and we're gonna do that for 24 hours, baby. All right, let's start. Well, I don't wanna start the timer yet. I wanna get into the couch and be comfy. So we'll start in a second. Okay, so I finished Check and Mate last night. I actually finished it in 5 hours and 14 minutes. This is the amount of time that I have left in the 24-hour readathon. So I have 18 hours, 46 minutes, and 41 seconds, which is great. This book, I would probably give this 4 stars. I would not classify this as YA. It was very adult, but I did still enjoy it. I really loved the chess aspect. I was so excited every time they talked about chess. I really liked it. I am not like a huge chess player and it is very heavy in the chess, but I still, like, it was enough that I could garner like what was going on just with the context clues given. So that was very exciting and I really liked that and it just made me feel smart. That's something that Ali Hazelwood books do, is that she gives a lot of technical detail and I have no idea what it means, but I enjoy the vibes. So it's fun. It's like a fun science chess club class type of thing. I don't know. It's exciting though. So this was a great book though. It is about Mallory and Nolan. Mallory used to do chess a lot. Nolan is a grandmaster. He became a grandmaster at a very young age. And Mallory quit chess after the abandonment of her father. You don't really understand what's going on between her and her father until much later on in the book. And then I just feel like they kind of built that part up a little bit. Like I felt like they built up like what happened between her and her father. I thought it was gonna be like much more worse than what actually, and I'm not saying that what he did was not that bad. It was really bad. It's just the way that they built it up. I thought that there was gonna be like fraud or the mafia or something. I don't know. I just thought something else was gonna be involved in this and it kind of felt very small scale in the grand scheme of it all. So that was just my personal taste and how I personally felt about how I felt about like the reveal of her father's actions. So yeah, that's just how I felt about that. But I did really like the book and I really loved how Mallory got back into chess and how she was learning about chess and all of that stuff. And I, of course, really liked the evolution of her and Nolan's relationship. So I thought that was really good. I did really like the book. Okay. All right. This is the book. number 7. I don't know if you can read that, but it does say 7. This is another small book. Paperback. Let's find out what we're working with. Oh. Per my last email, this is what I got in that romance book box. I can't remember which month, but I did get this in one of my romance book boxes. So this is, I don't know what this book about, but we're gonna find out. It's a pretty short book though, so that's another plus. We might be able to read 4 books this time. That would be exciting. We're gonna keep getting small books. So I'm gonna go and start the clock. So I finished this book and it didn't take me that long. It was a very quick read. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of sped read this a little bit. I read about an hour's worth in the car. Yeah, I read for like 1 hour in the car, and on my Kindle it said it was only 2.5 hour read because of how fast I was going. But that's because there's so much dialogue in this that it was just easy to go through it. So I still have 16 hours left of this. It still hasn't even been 10 hours, guys. Like, that's crazy to me that I've read 2 books in such a little amount of time. So I still have 16 hours, 14 minutes, and 46 seconds. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick another book and see if I can read that as well. I really truly thought that this was going to take a lot longer than it actually did. I thought I would get closer to like the 12-hour mark maybe, or I don't know, something like that. But I did read this. This book is about these 2 friends, Layla and Luke, and they work in the office together, and they just like are very like fun, and she's just very fun, and he's fun, and everyone's fun, and they're very immature adults. There's a lot of pranks that happen, there's a lot of jokes that happen, and just like everything that's being said, there's a point where I was like, can you not be serious for a second? Like, does everything have to be a joke? I don't know. I think I would give this 2 stars, to be honest. I thought it was gonna be more mature, and I'm not saying mature like it needed to have like more tension or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that it felt like 2 people in middle school who didn't want to tell the other person that they had a crush on them. That's how it felt, and it just was like very strange. And also, Layla is the ultimate pick-me girl. Like, she is the ultimate pick-me girl in all of this. She tells like other women who try to like flirt with Luke, she'll like tell them that he's not interested in women, that like he doesn't want to be with them, like all of these things. Like, she's sabotaging him to be with other people, but she dates guys on the regular. And so I don't know, it's very confusing. I don't know if I liked this. It was okay, but I don't think I would recommend this. It is on Kindle Unlimited though, so if you want something that's just like very jokester, very pranky, I would look into it on Kindle Unlimited at least, because it is available there, and you can at least like read it and not have, like, you can decide if you want like a physical copy or not after that. But was it my favorite? Not really. I'm kind of bummed because I feel like the last 2 books that I've read, they weren't what I was expecting. So I'm hoping this next one comes out good, better, whatever, you know? So let's pick our 3rd book. Let's hope that it gets to be good. All right, so we have, I don't know if that's going to, next number is number 5. This is our book. Let's open it. Ta-da! This is our next book, which is exciting because my friend Cynthia really wants me to read this. So I'm glad that this is the next pick. I don't know if this is on Kindle Unlimited. It would be nice if it is though, because I am gonna be in the car a lot. Today's Christmas Eve, so I'm going to be in the car a lot today, and it's just easier to read on my Kindle than bringing a book with me. But I do want to get started on this, so I'm going to get ready to hit the road and go to my parents' house, and then, well, I have to go into town first. My parents live across the street from me. I'm not driving over to theirs, but I need to go into town and grab some stuff. So I'm gonna get ready for all of that fun stuff. And I cannot read a physical book in the car. I will get car sick, but I can read my Kindle if I like hold it like this. So it's on Kindle Unlimited. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, good. It was quite amazing. I was not expecting the ending. So this book follows, I don't know how to say their names, so I'm just going to give them initials. O and R are our main characters. O is the girl, R is, well, his name is actually easy. His name's just Rain. But O enters into this tournament type of thing, and she's human. Everybody else are vampires, but she's human. And so she just goes into this tournament, and at the end of the tournament, the goddess of the night or whatever, she grants you whatever your desire is. Like whatever wish you have, she will grant it for you. And so she goes into this tournament and she fights the tournament, and it was so good. Like this honestly is everything I wanted Fourth Wing to be, and I know a lot of people loved Fourth Wing, but I felt like this was so much better because it gave you all of that action with none of the like slower parts of the story. And so it was just like event after event after event, and it never let you slow down because these characters never had a chance to slow down. When like each section of the tournament was, I believe, like 3 to 4 weeks of downtime. And in that downtime, it did not spend each day going over the boring parts of training and stuff like that. It just went into like, okay, there's downtime, so we're working on trust. There's this, we're working on that. There's this. And it's just like boom after things. And instead of saying like, and today we did nothing, it just skipped over. Like it was like 4 days have passed. So I really liked that though. It was very fast paced. It was very high fantasy, and I don't mean like high fantasy as in you're not gonna understand this world. What I mean by high fantasy is the fantasy mattered in this book. The fantasy in Fourth Wing did not matter. It's a romance book with fantasy in it. This is a fantasy book first. You have to have the fantasy for this book to work. You didn't need any bit of the romance, and to be honest, the romance is about 2 pages in this book. So I really liked it. And it was amazing. So 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't give it 5 stars immediately. There's only one book that I've ever given 5 stars immediately. Most books I have to wait on it. I don't think this is gonna get a 5 star. I think it'll stay at 4 stars just because there was like one element that I was really wanting. I don't know what that element was, but I didn't have it nonetheless. So I gave it 4 stars. There's just something about it that didn't give 5-star vibes. I don't know, maybe that'll change in a week. As we know, I like to sit on these things and let that marinate in my head, but it is what it is. So with that said, I have on the clock, I still have 7 hours, 27 minutes, and 40 seconds left. So I still have 7 hours, 27 minutes, and 40 seconds left of the challenge, which means we can probably fit in one more book, which is actually kind of exciting because the last time I did a 24-hour readathon, I only got to read, I think, 3 books. But this is better because when I did the last one, I did stop to like eat and stuff like that. So I think because I'm using a timer and I'm setting it out over several days, this is not treats, honey. They're not treats. So the number that I have is number 6. My battery's gonna die, so I'm gonna do this really fast. Number 6 is another hardcover. Okay, cool. I'm actually excited. So I got A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. I love this author. This is a book that I've been dying to read. This is an academic arrivals book. And so that is what we're gonna get started doing. My battery's about to die, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read this and change the battery over and all that stuff. Goodbye. I finished. I actually finished this with like a couple minutes to spare, so I just let the timer run out. I'm gonna count it because this took several days to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and count it. This did not take me all 7 hours and whatever minutes it took me. I think I had maybe like 6 minutes left, so I just let that run through while I set up the camera and stuff like that. So it worked out fine. But I finished this book, and Ava Reid is still one of my favorite authors. Like, her books, her writing, it just is, there's just something about them. This book follows Effie and Preston, and she goes off because she won this, she won a contest for, she's like studying architecture, and so she goes off to her favorite author's house to basically like reconstruct and rebuild the house because it's falling apart. So she wins this contest and she goes. She's a first-year architecture student, and there's also some drama behind her being there because women are not even allowed in the literature side of the school. They're only allowed to be in the architecture side, and it's not as prestigious. It's a lot harder, and most women just don't end up staying the whole time. There's something weird about Effie. Like, you figure this out very early on. Men who see her are like so entranced, they're almost dangerous. And there are lots of instances where men have just grabbed her because she's so beautiful. And if she says anything wrong, they get violently angry. Like, they just get angry. And so she goes off, she wins the little thingy, she goes off, and there's another student there. His name's Preston, and he's there basically to like prove that her favorite author is a fake, that he's a phony, that he didn't write any of the things. There's no possible way. He dropped out of school when he was 12 years old. He was illiterate the whole time. Like, there's no way he came up with these stories and these well-written, beautiful stories. She is trying to prove him wrong. He's trying to prove himself right and like show her. And meanwhile, there is this like fairy king, and Effie can see him. Preston thinks that these are just folklore. I don't believe in the stories, but Effie very much believes in the story of the fairy king. She's seen him herself. She saw him when she was a little girl. She's a changeling. Well, she has a changeling name, but I don't think she's a changeling because her mom came back and grabbed her. So she's technically not a changeling, but she says that the Elf King grabbed for her to take her back, and then her mom came back and decided like, no, I don't want to give up my child. She's missing her digit, her like ring finger digit, and she says that this is because the Elf King didn't want her to marry anyone else. Like, he wanted to be the only one that she could be with. And so they go off on this like journey. Effie has been later told in life that she's actually just crazy. and that's why she's seeing things. And so they give her these like pink pills to make her stay sane, but she's still seeing things and it's like freaking her out. There's so much that happens in this book, and I want to talk about it all, but I also want you to be able to figure it out on your own. Everything about this book was beautifully written. I loved this book so much. There's so much beautiful imagery in the book, like the way that she describes things, the way the dialogue happens, it's just so mesmerizing. I loved this book. Like, I loved it so much. I cannot express it enough. I loved this book so much. So yeah, I really think that people should be reading this book. I thought it was fantastic. So I think these are just, yeah, I read 4 books this challenge. That's exciting. So I read 4 books in this 24-hour challenge. These are the 4 books that I read, and I'm very excited. I think I got like a really good, I think I got a very good variety, because this is a book that I really wanted to read. A book that I was told to read. Another, like an author that I absolutely adore. And then the romance book box that I got, and I got to read this. So like, all in all, I feel like this was so fun because I just got great books. I kind of, like, I forgot what other books. There's 3 other books that haven't been unwrapped, and I'm kind of like, I'm curious to know, you know? Oh my gosh. I'm curious to know what's in these. I think I want to unwrap them. All right, let's unwrap these, because I do want to know. Oh, All the Little Raindrops. This is Mia Sheridan. I've actually been really interested in reading this book. This is supposed to be a really good one. So this was a contender that I didn't get to. Number 2, numero dos. Icebreaker, another book I really wanted to get to. Okay. And then this is the number 1. Ah, these are all good. Okay, every book was a good, yeah, King of Greed. All right, we got King of Greed. So every single book was a winner, really. Every book was a winner, so that's cool though. I'm excited. I actually loved that challenge. I think I want to do that, like, I don't know, maybe like, well, I want to say once a month, but I feel like also that might be like too much, too often. I know it doesn't, like, when I say like, oh, we should do a 24-hour challenge like once every 30 days, it doesn't seem like it's very frequent, but then it does feel kind of frequent. So I don't know, but that would be fun. Let me know what you think. Maybe like every other month or something. I don't know, but I did like the 24-hour challenge. I liked how I did it, where it's like wrapped up, because I think it was like more fun to do it that way. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Leave them down in the comments down below. If you do want to see more of these challenges, don't forget to become a friend of mine and subscribe. Be my friend, okay? Tell me what to read. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go, but I will see you guys in the new year.